Hello and welcome, as it is the first day for the month of June for the year of 2018. My name is Derek and I'd like to welcome you to the Crypto Day morning. Not much to go over, but I'll go over the Bitcoin chart from very long term, the monthly chart all the way down the 1 minute time frame. Each one tells a story. And like always, everything within your own risk, own reward. The very, very risky, rewardy business the crypto trading game is. So throwing that part aside, the month ended with a decline on the month of May as the price action opened at 92.43, closing at around 7,500. A differential of over 1,700 basis points. That's about a 20% decline for the month, where price action hanging in there within the 18 average of highs, 18 average of lows. Coming in this month is right now at 56.13. That number is rising, and it's been a beautiful run. So this is just into its fifth period of correcting within the 18 average. The last time it left the 18 average is when it broke out of this point from the 465 level in August of 2016, weekly term time frame. And this one here, you've got that obvious amazing uptrend, which had its price correction down to 6,000. So since then, the 18 average has just been mainly going sideways with a little bit of a downward trend towards it. That is obviously giving it some bearish cadences because of this downtrend, but given the fact that we're coming from this much of an uptrend in what's a sideways moving market, that gives it up tendencies within such. But everything that I've been talking about, breaking down below here, you could have a significant move lower, which could fill some of this empty space in here if it breaks down below this matter of support. Let's transition into the daily term time frame, which within such, there's been obviously the pattern of all of these lower highs going back, and the last one came in at the 9,800 level, which had this 18 average test first, leaving from it on May the 14th. Didn't do too much, just got up to the lows for a couple of periods and retraced. This one got close to the 18 average of closes May 20th through the 22nd, and a decent sized leg lower, leaving the 18 average of lows at 8,200, making its leg lower at 7,000. And now day number 3 of just going sideways within these movements in here. 18 average, of course, in a declining situation. So that means all rallies are guilty until proven innocent. But let's just put it, the last one will definitely be proven innocent, which means that you see some sort of bullish tendency. 18 average flattens. It does one of the things that it needs to do to revert the trend. And quite frankly, there's a very good chance that when it tells you that this thing is reverting, that the price action will be significantly higher than 74.20. That doesn't necessarily mean it will. I mean, if this thing breaks down to 3,000 and it's just like, oh my goodness, what a big fall, then maybe you'll get clarification at 4,500 or 5,000 that it's time to go long, based on, of course, a bullish pattern. But as long as the market is staying really above this support level and even below decently a little bit about 10,000, this market is very much in an indecisive, neutral kind of stage, and it can chop around within the range very frequently. So that's just something to keep an eye on, because shorter term, you're seeing a little bit of the choppy movements. 400-minute time frame after a large decline. It has now spent the last dozen or so periods within this barely rising 18 average after a very good green candle up, but it held it for about 4 or 5 periods amongst the 18 highs. Then a decent sized red candle down on timestamp May 30th, 9:20 a.m. But it rallied right back up to that point, and now again selling off to the 18 average of lows. And it's still in the trend, but it is until it's not. And when you look at this on the shorter term time frame, 3 hours, It's getting very sideways. This 18 average has basically done such, went sideways, barely declining. We can look and see a very long range with this level of resistance that it's been testing at around 76.25. Has been tested quite frequently, even before the last low. Here, 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 and here. As far as support has been concerned, oh, that's not a good line, but this area here has been big support. So you can make a case that this is just one floor part of a building. And when it leaves one floor to the next one, whether up or down, if it goes to this floor, it's going to make it usually to the ceiling really quickly. And if it goes through this floor, it's going to make it to the bottom part of the floor, usually relatively quickly. Switching over to the 60-minute time frame, and there's the large size moves that can be occurring. You have a situation and things are just hanging in there after a move like it was after this rally. Just in this case, ranging between 74 and into 75, then a big sell-off. Gets it all back, and then it just goes sideways for a bit. Okay, but really small red candle down on the 1800-hour timestamp, May the 31st. And then it rallies up, does a little bit of not much, a big red candle down again. This time it's well below the 18 like it was here. And the first rally was one of those instant ones. When we take a look on the 15-minute time frame, price action is just getting up to that 18. So you have a situation where you have a big move lower, and now you have a majorly fast descending decline to the 18, and since the bottom, a very quick sharp rally from the lows. So these areas are coming very close to touching each other, or that it's now entered its correctionary phase from that last rally, because you have a big significant down move like we've seen in here at some point after this is going down. And you could have been saying this at 74.67. Oh man, this is falling. Farther this falls, the bigger the rally from that low has to be. And it didn't fall too much, but just the whole point of realizing that when something goes way down or way up, it's got to correct back. So there's the move lower, and then you have that expected at some point rally. So you get into this point, which means when you are within the 18 average of lows and highs in that range, you're now what I call a decision day moment, where are you going to go from now? Question mark. Because any price action that comes in here means that this is a very crucial spot where it has to significantly find higher lows, stay within this area if it needs to revert the trend, because you need this to go flat first. Then you need to find a way to get above it and then maintain price. There's so many steps required at this stage in reverting the trends. And when you look back, when you say, okay, what type of things show that this big down move is happening? I mean, this was a precursor event. Do you see anything here that it's going to go down? Well, yes, in the sense that you have a move that breaks its support or makes a level of support, albeit a higher low from this one. You consolidate within this band, and then after leaving it, up to the highs. Now you're seeing it leave. That's a very cautious situation as you see it. But if you look at this pattern 100 times over in sample size, you're not going to get a big fall every single time. Sometimes it's going to do the opposite, or even sometimes you're going to have some sideways action. Then it might go down a bit. And key word is, a lot of times when you get this, you're just going to get a move that may only come down to this previous level of support, because that's what you'd be saying. Okay, if it comes down here, this would be the first area of support. Breaking that, you're looking at here and then in here as the situation, and then of course it just breaks every single one of those levels of support. So you really can't stay. This is just a case if there's any type of indicator stating, okay, here's somebody from Arkansas who's got this balance of this. It looks like he's going to sell, no, or he's going to buy big. No, you can't see any of that on the charts. Now on the 1 minute time frame, it's just chopping around right now, but as we can see, this was the move that occurred. And it was just a very, very fast move. It leaves the 18 average of highs at 75.35 and kerplunk. Down it goes. One really large red candle down, an even larger one down. This candle here was a decent sized red one at one point when it was at its lows at 73.76. So this is under 3 minutes, but over 1 minute of major decline. So thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.